It's hard not to think about what I watched and not have this reaction. Those were images that frankly kept me up at night, that I saw over and over and over.
When you were asked about it in June of 2016,
I recognize the pain. I can only imagine if my wife, my daughter, did not come home one night.
This is Judge Amber Wolf from Kentucky. Judge Amber Wolf, from the 30th District Court 2nd Division, is known for her compassionate approach in the typically rational legal world. Today, she's about to demonstrate how far she'll go to show compassion to her defendants. Before her stands James Rear, a 24-year-old man from Kentucky facing burglary charges. He and his wife, Ashley, were caught stealing 6 flat-screen TVs from a warehouse. Ashley recently gave birth to their baby boy while James was in custody. As their co-defendants, there's a no-contact order between them, meaning James hasn't met his newborn son yet. As Judge Wolf finishes James's hearing and prepares for Ashley's, she notices Ashley holding up their baby in the gallery for James to see as he leaves the courtroom. This realization triggers something in the judge's sense of humanity, prompting her to take action.
You sure you're comfortable with this? Is this what you want to do? All right, just stay right there for just a second.
Judge Wolf calls Ashley to the front of the court and speaks to her before bringing James back into the courtroom.
I don't want you to say anything to me about your case at all. Don't say anything. Your lawyer's not present right now. But I understand that there is a chance that you're going to go back to Todd County and that your baby is a month old and you haven't met that baby yet.
She gives him some strict instructions before explaining the situation. Then, she summons Ashley to the podium with their baby boy and introduces them to James.
I know you have a no contact order between you and Miss Roeder that I issued, and I'm not changing that. I'm making a temporary exception right in front of me on the record so that you can meet this baby. This is your son.
Witness the heartwarming moment as Ashley hands their baby to James, who cradles him with care. Ashley is moved to tears, and Judge Wolf too wipes a tear from her cheek. Afterward, Judge Wolf assures James that she'll see him at his next court date. Her tears were a reaction to the emotional moment in her courtroom, and she thanks the Rear family for letting her be a part of it. She acknowledges that if you're not moved by such a moment, you might just be heartless.
And Miss Roeder, you can stay up here because I'm going to call your case next. Thank you for letting me be a part of that. If y'all aren't teared up, then you're just heartless.
Judge Jennifer Dorow is visibly moved during the sentencing hearing for Darrell Brooks at the Waukesha County Circuit Court in Wisconsin. Brooks, who represented himself, faced numerous charges, including 6 counts of intentional homicide after driving his SUV through a Christmas parade, resulting in 6 deaths and numerous injuries. Judge Dorow begins her speech by rejecting Brooks's defense, emphasizing that he couldn't have missed the parade with the number of police vehicles and the visibility at dusk.
Many police vehicles at these intersections with their lights flashing. There's no doubt in my mind that Mr. Brooks would understand a parade was going on. It was not yet dark, it was dusk. I think that aids to the visibility that Mr. Brooks would have seen all of these people. This is not under cover of night.
As she speaks, she becomes increasingly emotional, especially when discussing the band members who were killed. She applauds the band director's courage during the trial and breaks down as she describes the horrific events that keep her awake at night.
It's hard not to think about what I watched and not have this reaction. Those were images that frankly kept me up at night, that I saw over and over and over.
Despite her tears, Brooks remains indifferent, even interrupting the judge at one point. Judge Dorow warns him to stop or face removal from the courtroom.
You had contact with her on the 20th. There was some physical.
Contact with her on the 20th.
Mr. Brooks, this is my time. You need to not interrupt. Mr. Brooks,
the state
you need to stop.
said specifically, wrote you, Your Honor.
Mr.
And
Brooks,
now you want to sit up here.
Do not interrupt me or you will be removed to the other
courtroom. And now you want to sit up here with 5 kids that don't have custody.
You need to stop right now or you will be removed.
Remove me then.
Eventually, he's escorted out after another outburst. Despite the emotional toll, Judge Dorow sentences Brooks to life in prison without parole. The impact of such a crime is profound, not just for Judge Dorow, but for anyone involved in the case. Judge Robert Chasteen is presiding over the sentencing of Bo Dukes today. Bo Dukes assisted in hiding the death of Tara Grinstead, a teacher and former beauty queen from Irwin County who disappeared in 2005. Though her body was never found, it's believed she was murdered. Even though the main suspect in her killing was acquitted, Bo Dukes confessed to helping conceal Tara's body in 2017. At the start of the hearing, Judge Chasteen acknowledges the prolonged pain endured by Tara's family. He admits that nothing he can do will take away their suffering.
Nothing that I do here is going to alleviate the pain that the family has endured all these years.
His struggle to maintain composure is evident as he fidgets with items on his desk, trying to find words of comfort.
It's just an unfortunate situation that the family's had to grieve that long to determine what happened to Tara Grinstead. I just can't quite, wrap my head around.
It's just so unfortunate that the family had to suffer for so long without knowing what happened to Tara. I can't quite grasp it, he expresses with emotion. Unable to contain his feelings any longer, Judge Chasteen breaks down, deeply distressed by the anguish Tara Grinstead's family endured during the 12-year search for answers.
We all have. But that would have been the time to come forward when you were asked about it. In June of 2016. I don't take any pleasure out of sentencing anyone, but, that's a part of my job.
After composing himself, Judge Chasteen delivers the maximum sentence of 25 years to Bo Dukes, ensuring some form of justice for Tara's family.
The court's going to sentence you on count 1 to a period of 5 years to serve in the state penitentiary. On count 2, the court's going to sentence you to 5 years to serve in the state penitentiary consecutive to count 1. And on count 3, the court's going to sentence you to 5 years consecutive to count 2 to serve in the state penitentiary. And on count 4, the court's going to sentence you to 10 years consecutive to the sentence in count 3 to serve in the state penitentiary.
Judge Chasteen's distress stems from the senselessness of Tara's murder and the prolonged suffering of her family. Judge William Atkinson has witnessed too much of the same heartbreak time after time. Today, he's in court to sentence David Meyer for 2 counts of homicide by the use of a vehicle with a prohibited alcohol concentration. Meyer's alcohol level was almost 3 times over the legal limit when he hit Rebecca and Raya Pennenberg, who were out walking in Lawrence, Wisconsin. The mother and daughter were killed instantly on impact. The Pennenberg family is present in court to hear Meyer's fate, and statements from their loved ones are read out, all requesting a lengthy jail sentence for the drunk driver. Judge Atkinson's emotions are evident as he addresses the court with strong words.
I've seen too many people suffer from drunk driving. I didn't know the family, had no connection, but I've seen too many of these cases.
In an incredible display of humanity, Judge Atkinson breaks down in tears, openly weeping as he imagines the pain of his own wife and daughter not coming home one night because of a drunk driver's actions.
I recognize the pain. I can only imagine if my wife, my daughter, did not come home one night.
Onlookers in the court are stunned by his emotional speech, and some are visibly affected by his words. As he concludes, Meyer himself speaks, expressing regret and apologizing for his actions.
There's nothing I can say that's gonna ease their pain. There's no words I can say to give them any peace. I've been and will continue to give people the understanding of what it means to drink and drive. I continue to tell everyone I meet that when you drink, the first thing you lose is your judgment.
However, Judge Atkinson isn't swayed by Meyer's show of remorse. He sentences him to a total of 10 years in prison for killing Rebecca and Raya Pennenberg. Additionally, he orders Meyer to serve 10 years of extended supervision after his release, during which he won't be allowed to buy or drink alcohol.